Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why so many people end up on dialysis, despite the fact that they eat what they believe is a healthy diet, drink plenty of water, and follow every single piece of advice they were ever given? You wake up each morning convinced that a banana, an orange, or perhaps a vibrant, colorful smoothie is keeping you strong and full of vitality. Yet one day, your doctor sits you down and casually mentions that your creatinine level is a little high, and suddenly everything feels different, uncertain, and frightening. Here's the shocking truth that most people never hear until it's already far too late. By the time that number on your lab report begins to rise, half of your kidney function is already gone, lost silently, stealthily, without a single warning sign or moment of pain. That's precisely why I call kidney disease the silent thief. It steals your health quietly, year after year, while you still look perfectly fine on the outside, going about your daily life completely unaware. But the real danger isn't just medication, or aging, or genetics. The real danger is sitting right now in your own kitchen. The very fruits that we grew up believing were heart healthy and wholesome can, inside a struggling body, overload your kidneys with minerals and natural sugars that slowly, relentlessly push them closer and closer to failure. What keeps one person alive and strong can quietly poison another. Yet nature, in her infinite wisdom, always provides balance. For every fruit that burdens the kidneys, there are others that heal, protect, and even help lower creatinine naturally. These are simple, everyday fruits, no exotic imports, no expensive powders, no miracle pills, just the right choices, used in the right way. I'm going to reveal the 6 scientifically proven fruits that can calm inflammation, restore filtration, and give your kidneys the strength they need to recover naturally and safely. Because kidney disease is not a life sentence, it's a message. And once you learn to truly listen, your body wells will show you exactly how to heal itself. You see, the real problem isn't that people eat the wrong foods. It's that they eat the right foods at the wrong time in their health journey. After all, a banana or an orange sounds perfectly harmless, doesn't it? They're the poster children of healthy living featured in every diet plan and wellness blog. But here's the twist: when your kidneys start to weaken, those same good fruits can quietly become toxic fuel for a system that's already under immense pressure. Let me explain what's really happening inside your body. Your kidneys are like two brilliant, hard-working filters operating 24 hours a day, balancing every mineral, every drop of fluid, every heartbeat you take. But once that filtration system begins to slow down, every extra milligram of potassium, phosphorus, or sugar stays longer in your bloodstream, like traffic that never clears after rush hour. The result is chaos inside your body that you can't feel until it's already too late. Take potassium, for example. When your kidneys are healthy, potassium keeps your heartbeat steady and your muscles relaxed. But when those filters get clogged, potassium starts building up in your blood like electricity waiting to strike. One single meal high in bananas or melons can push it over the edge, triggering dangerous heart arrhythmias within hours. That's not a scare tactic. That's pure chemistry. Then there's phosphorus. Food companies hide it in so called natural fruit drinks to enhance color and extend shelf life. The problem? That inorganic phosphorus absorbs almost completely into your bloodstream, causing calcium to leak out of your bones and harden your blood vessels. Imagine your arteries turning from flexible garden hoses into brittle, rigid pipes. That's exactly what happens over time. And we can't forget fructose, the natural sugar found in fruit. In moderation, it's perfectly fine. But chronic overload, especially from sweet juices or smoothies, turns into uric acid and free radicals that scar and damage kidney tissue. A study published in Diabetes Care showed that patients with high fructose intake experienced a 25% faster decline in kidney filtration compared to those who limited their fructose consumption. That's not a small number. That's an entire decade of kidney life lost. I once had a patient named Laura in her mid 50s, a fitness enthusiast who never smoked and never drank alcohol. She started each morning with 2 bananas and a large glass of orange juice because she genuinely believed that vitamin C was the secret to longevity. Her blood work told a very different story. Within just 6 months, her creatinine level climbed from 1.1 to 1.7. Once we swapped those so called healthy fruits for lower potassium options, her levels stabilized and her energy came roaring back. She looked at me and said, "Doctor, I wish someone had warned me sooner." That's why awareness matters so much more than perfection, because what looks healthy on the outside can silently overload the very organs that keep you alive. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because there's another factor far more dangerous that most people never see coming. And once you understand it, everything you thought you knew about healthy fruit will change forever. After seeing how so called healthy fruits can secretly push your kidneys to the edge, most people ask me the same question. "So, what can I eat, doctor?" And that's exactly where the story flips, because nature always gives us an antidote before the poison takes hold. And one of the simplest, most overlooked protectors has been sitting in your kitchen all along: the humble apple. Now, don't let its simplicity fool you for a second. One medium apple holds only about 190 milligrams of potassium. That's nearly half the amount you'd get from a single banana. For kidneys that are struggling to clear excess minerals, that difference matters enormously. But potassium isn't even the main reason I call apples the gentle filter. It's what's hiding in the skin, a soluble fiber called pectin. Pectin works like a sponge inside your digestive tract. It binds to phosphorus and toxic waste in your intestines before those harmful substances ever reach your kidneys. Instead of forcing your body's already strained filters to handle the entire cleanup by themselves, pectin escorts that waste out the back door through your stool. Think of it as giving your kidneys an extra pair of helping hands. Science backs this up completely. A study published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases found that people who consume 20 to 25 grams of fruit fiber daily maintain 24% better phosphorus control than those on low fiber diets. That's not marketing hype. That's measurable, proven kidney protection coming from something as ordinary as an apple peel. And here's where it gets even more impressive. Those same apple peels are loaded with quercetin and chlorogenic acid, powerful antioxidants that calm the microscopic inflammation that scars kidney tissue. In one study from Free Radical Biology and Medicine, apple polyphenols reduced inflammatory markers by up to 30% in people with renal stress. When you eat the peel, you're not just eating fruit, you're feeding your kidneys real natural medicine. Let me tell you about Maria, one of my patients in her 60s. Her creatinine had been slowly climbing despite her medication, and she felt utterly hopeless. Instead of trying to change everything at once, we started with just one habit: one apple every evening, skin on, eaten slowly after dinner. Within 3 months, her phosphorus levels dropped, her energy rose, and she said something that has stayed with me ever since. "Doctor, for the first time, I feel like my body is cooperating with me instead of fighting me." That's the quiet power of consistency, not perfection. Just one right choice repeated day after day. And if you're wondering, yes, fresh matters enormously. Whole apples beat fruit juice every single time. Juicing strips away the beneficial fiber, leaving behind only the sugar spike that kidneys hate. A whole apple gives you steady, sustained energy and gentle, effective cleansing all at once. So the next time you crave something sweet, skip the processed snacks and reach for an apple. Not just because it's healthy, but because it's strategic. Each bite gives your kidneys a moment of relief that they desperately need. But knowing how to relieve the kidneys is just one side of the healing process. Sometimes they need protection at the cellular level, a microscopic shield that guards them against inflammation and oxidative stress. And that shield comes from a fruit so small that you could hold dozens of them in your hand. Yet its power is anything but small. You'll see why in just a moment. If apples are the gentle filters that give your kidneys a much needed rest, then blueberries are the invisible armor that keeps them safe from harm. I call them the cellular shield. Tiny, deep blue protectors working silently inside your bloodstream, guarding every fragile nephron against the real enemy: inflammation and oxidative stress. Most people underestimate blueberries because of their small size, but sometimes the most powerful things come in the smallest packages. A half cup of blueberries holds only about 60 milligrams of potassium, practically nothing for weakened kidneys. Yet it's bursting with anthocyanins, the dark pigments that give blueberries their distinctive color and their incredible strength. These compounds are not just ordinary antioxidants, they are bodyguards specifically designed for your kidneys. Here's how they work. When your kidneys are inflamed, the microscopic blood vessels inside them become stiff, leaky, and prone to damage. Anthocyanins slip past the blood kidney barrier and calm that chaos directly at the source, repairing the tiny filters that keep your blood clean. A landmark study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that blueberry anthocyanins reduced kidney damaging cytokines by up to 50% in just a few weeks. That's not hype. That's healing proven in a laboratory. And science isn't the only proof. I still remember one of my patients, Susan, a retired teacher with rising creatinine who loved her morning smoothies. We didn't cut out fruit entirely. We simply made one swap. Out went the bananas and melon. In came half a cup of blueberries 3 to 4 times a week. 6 months later, her filtration rate had stabilized. Her swelling went down. Her blood pressure dropped slightly. And for the first time in years, she told me, "Doctor, I finally feel calm inside my own body." That calm isn't magic. Blueberries gently improve insulin sensitivity, helping your body manage sugar without spiking it, a crucial step for anyone dealing with diabetic kidney stress. In fact, a nutrition research study found that regular blueberry eaters had 20% better long term glucose control than non consumers. Every small improvement means less pressure on the kidney's delicate vascular network. And let's not forget about your circulation. Blueberries boost nitric oxide, a molecule that naturally relaxes your blood vessels, lowering systolic blood pressure by around 4 to 6 millimeters of mercury. That might sound like a small change, but even a 2-point drop can cut kidney disease progression risk by about 7%. Little fruit, huge impact. What I love most about blueberries is how accessible they are. Fresh or frozen, it doesn't matter. Freezing doesn't destroy the anthocyanins. You can toss them into yogurt, oatmeal, or just eat them by the handful. They're not just a snack. They're silent medicine disguised as food. Now, before we move on, let me leave you with this thought. If apples are the steady workers keeping your kidneys clean, and blueberries are the shield that protects them, then the next fruit is the healer, the one that helps repair damaged kidney cells from the inside out. And almost nobody realizes how powerful it truly is. You're about to discover it next. If blueberries are the shield, then grapes are the healer. They don't just protect your kidneys, they help them rebuild from the inside out. It's almost poetic how something so small, so sweet, can activate your body's own natural repair system. Most people know grapes for their heart benefits, but very few realize how powerful they are for kidney recovery. Inside their red and purple skins lies one of nature's most remarkable molecules, resveratrol. It's the same compound that made red wine famous for its health benefits, but what it does for your kidneys is even more incredible. Resveratrol activates a family of proteins called sirtuins, especially one known as SIRT1, the longevity switch. When these proteins are turned on, they help your kidney cells repair DNA damage, reduce inflammation, and protect against oxidative stress. Think of it like flipping a hidden switch deep inside your cells that tells them, "Start healing right now." One clinical study published in Kidney International found that people with chronic kidney disease who consumed resveratrol, equivalent to a small serving of red grapes each day, improved their kidney function by up to 22% in just 6 months. That's not just stabilization, that's reversal, something once thought impossible. I'll never forget a patient named George, in his late 50s, who came to me exhausted, his GFR down to 38, facing the word that everyone fears, dialysis. Instead of giving up, we built a plan. Clean water, lower sodium, moderate protein, and 3 times a week, a small handful of red grapes with his lunch. 4 months later, his lab surprised even his nephrologist. His GFR rose to 47. His blood pressure normalized, and he said, "Doctor, I feel alive again." Sometimes the simplest foods unlock the biggest recoveries, and grapes offer more than just resveratrol. They're packed with polyphenols, plant chemicals that keep your blood vessels flexible and strong. Remember, your kidneys are nothing more than a dense forest of microvessels, millions of tiny tubes that filter waste. When those vessels stiffen, filtration collapses. Grapes help keep them open and elastic, improving circulation and hydration without straining your kidneys. There's another secret that most people don't realize. Grapes are 84% water, making them one of the gentlest ways to hydrate your body naturally. But portion size still matters. Too many grapes at once can raise your blood sugar, especially if your insulin sensitivity is already low. The sweet spot is small but powerful. 20 to 25 grapes, 2 or 3 times a week, eaten with the skin, because that's where the resveratrol lives. And the darker the color, the stronger the protection. Deep purple or crimson grapes can contain up to 5 times more resveratrol than green ones. Whenever my patients ask me how to choose, I tell them color equals chemistry. So next time you're tempted by a sugary dessert, reach for a handful of red grapes instead. You'll satisfy your craving and send a powerful signal of healing to your kidneys at the same time. But remember, healing isn't just about removing damage. It's about calming the inflammation that caused the damage in the first place. And for that, nature designed a golden tropical powerhouse with a secret enzyme so unique that it can break down inflammation itself. Stay with me, because what this fruit does inside your kidneys will shock you. If grapes are the healers, then pineapple is the fire extinguisher. It cools the silent flames of inflammation that quietly burn inside weakened kidneys. What makes pineapple special isn't just its tropical flavor or its bright yellow color. It's a hidden enzyme that most people have never even heard of. Bromelain. Bromelain is found mostly in the fibrous core of the pineapple, and it's one of nature's most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agents. While painkillers like ibuprofen can actually damage your kidneys over time, bromelain does the exact opposite. It reduces swelling, dissolves inflammatory debris, and helps clear the protein waste that clogs the kidney's tiny filters. It works gently, without straining your body's delicate chemistry. A study published in Biotechnology Research International showed that bromelain lowered inflammatory markers linked to chronic kidney disease by up to 40% while improving overall renal function. That's a massive result for something that grows from the ground rather than from a pharmacy shelf. But the magic doesn't stop there. Pineapple is also rich in vitamin C, about 70 milligrams per cup, adding an antioxidant shield that neutralizes free radicals before they can damage kidney cells. Together, bromelain and vitamin C form what I like to call the dynamic duo. One clears the battlefield, and the other protects what's left standing. Let me tell you about a patient named David. He was 65 years old, with swollen ankles and rising creatinine that kept inching higher with every visit. Instead of adding more pills to his regimen, we made one simple change: half a cup of fresh pineapple twice a week, eaten raw with a little bit of the core. Within 2 months, his swelling went down, his blood pressure eased, and his lab numbers finally stopped climbing. When he smiled and said, "Doctor, I feel lighter," I knew exactly why. His kidneys were finally breathing again. And here's the part that most people overlook: the form matters enormously. Fresh pineapple carries the enzyme power. Canned pineapple does not. Heat and processing destroy bromelain completely. So slice it yourself, keep it raw, and even chew a bit of the tough center. That's where the highest concentration of bromelain lives. Because pineapple is naturally low in potassium, around 190 milligrams per cup. It's safe for most kidney patients when eaten in moderation. Its mild diuretic effect helps your body flush excess fluid gently, reducing bloating and water retention without overworking your kidneys. Every bite is like sending a cooling wave through an overheated system, refreshing, healing, balancing. It's not a miracle, it's pure biochemistry, aligned with nature's design. But calming inflammation isn't the final step. The real key to long term kidney protection is restoring balance, minerals, hydration, and energy through rhythm and consistency. And that's exactly what the final fruit teaches us. It's a symbol of regeneration, strength, and perfect equilibrium. Don't miss this one. It's the quiet powerhouse that most people overlook, yet it could determine whether your kidneys stay strong or slip into decline. If pineapple cools the fire of inflammation, then pomegranate reignites the spark of regeneration. It doesn't just soothe your kidneys, it helps them rebuild what has been lost. This crimson fruit has been called the blood of the earth for good reason. Its deep red juice is loaded with compounds that heal from the inside out. Inside every pomegranate seed lives a molecule called punicologen, a rare antioxidant found almost nowhere else in nature. Along with ellagic acid, it works like a microscopic repair crew, neutralizing oxidative stress before it can scar kidney tissue. Think of it as sending tiny warriors marching through your bloodstream, patching the leaks that years of sugar, salt, and medication have left behind. Modern science has caught up with ancient wisdom here. A clinical trial published in Clinical Nutrition found that patients who drank just 240 milliliters of fresh pomegranate juice per day for 3 months showed a 40% reduction in oxidative stress and improved blood flow to their kidneys. That's not folklore. That's hard data showing regeneration at work inside the human body. I remember my patient, Mrs. Alexa, 72 years old, diabetic for over 20 years, tired of watching her lab numbers worsen with every passing month. We added one simple ritual to her routine: a small glass of unsweetened pomegranate juice with breakfast 3 times a week. Within 8 weeks, her blood pressure softened, her creatinine stopped rising, and her face looked brighter, more alive. She told me, "Doctor, I feel like life is flowing through me again." And that's exactly what pomegranate does. It gets life flowing again. Beyond its powerful antioxidants, pomegranate naturally improves endothelial function, the health of the cells that line your blood vessels. When those cells relax, blood flows freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every corner of your body, including your kidneys. Better circulation means better filtration, and that's the very foundation of kidney recovery. But here's the caution: not all pomegranate products are created equal. The bottles lining supermarket shelves often contain added sugar, preservatives, or even phosphates that cancel out all the benefits. Choose fresh juice or eat the seeds themselves. Half a cup of seeds or half a glass of pure, unsweetened juice 2 to 3 times a week is enough to awaken your kidney's natural resilience. And there's a beautiful symbolism here. Every tiny seed represents a new start, a new cell, a new chance for your body to repair. I often tell my patients, healing doesn't always come in pills. Sometimes it comes in seeds. Pomegranate closes the circle of healing, from cleansing to shielding, from repairing to regenerating. But don't go anywhere yet, because what ties all of this together isn't just what you eat, it's how you live. The rhythm, the rotation, the consistency of these 6 fruits can literally decide whether your kidneys hold steady or begin to fail. And that final secret, how to combine and rotate them for real world healing, is what I'll reveal next. If pomegranate is the regenerator, then strawberries are the protector, the bright, cheerful bodyguards that stand watch over your kidneys every single day. Don't let their sweetness fool you. Behind that soft red skin lies one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory weapons in all of nature. 1 cup of strawberries contains only about 150 milligrams of potassium, gentle enough for people with kidney concerns, but it's packed with vitamin C, anthocyanins, and quercetin, a powerful trio that has been proven to reduce inflammation and strengthen blood vessels. In fact, a study published in the journal Nutrients showed that regular strawberry intake lowered C reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation, by 15% in just 8 weeks. For kidneys that are constantly battling oxidative stress, that drop is like fresh, clean air after a long, suffocating storm. I once treated a patient named Linda who battled both diabetes and stage 3 kidney disease. She loved desserts, but always felt guilty every time she indulged. We replaced her cakes and pastries with a simple bowl of sliced strawberries a few nights each week. 3 months later, her blood sugar had stabilized. Her morning swelling had disappeared, and she laughed, saying, "Doctor, I finally found a sweet treat that loves me back." That's the beauty of strawberries. They satisfy your cravings without punishing your kidneys. They're light, hydrating, and naturally low in sodium and phosphorus. Fresh or frozen, both work equally well. Just avoid the syrup packed or sugar coated versions that undo all the benefits. Each bite of strawberry sends a rush of antioxidants through your bloodstream, repairing vessel walls and calming the inflammation that silently damages your kidneys over time. It's small, it's simple, and it's powerful proof that healing doesn't have to be complicated. But choosing the right fruits is only half of the story. The real secret lies in how you combine and rotate them, a rhythm of nutrition that keeps your kidneys protected, balanced, and strong. Stay with me, because next you'll learn exactly how to build that rotation and turn these 6 fruits into your nightly detox system. Thanks for watching.